Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 11, Week 14. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I will be your sole conductor for today's events. It is Animal House versus Ember, ranked 7th worldwide versus ranked 10. And these two teams very much battling it out for a position in the top 7. If they can secure that now, this late into the season, they very well could avoid having to compete in the Challenger Cup. Top 7 teams move on to the postseason finals, big tournament where you see who the best of the best is. And also, some prizing gets put on the line. $14,000 in prizing, $10,000 in cash, $4,000 in hardware, coming from all of the sponsors that you see scrolling on screen there in front of you. And it is a super hype final 2 weeks for this regular season. I am super stoked to tune into this series. We just watched Beginners in Rome, where Rome nearly took a series from Beginners. Anything can happen. And I think that's going to be the motto I'm going to go with for the rest of this, the next week, the last final week of the season, and the postseason. Anything can happen. Take a look at the screen in front of you. Might be unfamiliar. This is Onward 5 vs 5 Military Simulator, search and destroy style game mode. The objective is for the Marsoc team, the blue team, to attack the objective and destroy it. The Bulk team is trying to defend it. If the Marsoc team destroys it, they secure 2 points. That's the gist of the mechanics. The screen you're seeing in front of you here shows the pick bans. Home team gets to ban first. They have banned Quarantine. Ember gets to ban second. They have banned Subway. Home team then gets to pick map in Animal House. To nobody's surprise, take close quarters map Cargo for their first choice of the day to start this series off. And this is going to be a great high action, high octane map one to kick the... I mean, this whole series is going to be very fast. I wouldn't be surprised if we're done with this in an hour and a half's time. All 3 maps in the books. Both of these squads super aggressive. Known for being very fast and committing to flanks and swings and aggressive defensive rollouts. So I'm very interested to see what Animal House and Ember bring to the table today. Cargo, obviously, like I said, going to be a great one. Close quarters. A good place for us to start this series. Go ahead and give the squads a go-ahead as we look at the active rosters for today. Coming in from Animal House, we have Green Theft Auto, F. Lipinski, Wicked Hex, Nolamite, and Steven. Standard core there. And over on Ember, we have Hailfire, Quokka, Soju, Milkman, and Switch. Again, nothing out of the ordinary here. Both teams have their standard core in place and should see a very competitive back and forth. These teams also only 3 ranks apart in the NA ladder. This is ranked 3 versus ranked 6 in the NA ladder. But again, as we get closer to the end of the season, we tend to shift our eyes towards the global ladder, as that's what determines who moves on to where. Also, a quick shout out to everyone tuning in today. We are live on multiple platforms: Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Venues. If you don't know what Venues is, it is a Oculus Quest or Quest 2 app that you can download and jump in and watch these games on a big screen theater with a bunch of other people in VR. It's a really cool way to socialize and enjoy the game at the same time. And I highly recommend checking it out if you have a Quest or Quest 2 available to you, free of charge to download the app. So go ahead and get in on that now before we get into the series if you haven't. But if you're already in there, shoot some confetti in the sky for a celebration. Just waiting on Ember to ready up, and then we should pop in. Everyone in lobby, like I said, roster's looking good. Cargo definitely going to be a fun one to start this off on, and I think I have bought myself enough time get into the action. Maybe not. There it is. Start of round number 1 on map 1 begins now. Cargo. Animal House on offense. Ember on defense.
Shut him down.
Alright, I got that lane.
We're the fucking visors. 25, 60. Get the smokes out. One cross left. Make sure the smokes are just straight cross.
And here the comms coming in. Milkman gets ID'd on that cross and taken down. The smokes continue to come through as Switch denies Hex exit out. That smoke billowed, but didn't have enough coverage on that doorway. Theft certainly could be risking it here, but tons of suppressive fire through the smoke. Quokka able to find 2 on that left side as Green comes charging in. He's made it inside. He goes down. He's going to consider switching out here, and as he does, Switch pops up and finds a huge kill.
Charlie 3. Watch right side.
It leaves only 1 left alive. Steven behind barrels at yellow, and he's got to cross some big, well-covered sectors that Ember are watching. Maybe catch Switch. Not quite able to identify him there behind the pole. But he's got all the time in the world to work with. 4:20 on the clock. Kind of sit here, wait to see if anyone rotates out through these cargo crates. He may catch out this rotation, and as I say that, he drops down off of his hold there and come down to Ember playing it patiently. Hellfire could push up and commit to challenging the yellow room, but I don't think they have any idea that he's in there. Switch is checking both windows, so it's an indicator that he hasn't seen Steven go there. As I say that, Steven comes diving out and Switch finds the kill. Solid pickup there. Ember take the lead 1-0. Good way for them to kick this off, and a must-win situation for Ember here. They are ranked 7th worldwide. They cannot afford this loss. If they lose to Animal House, it'll put them in a very dicey place for next week, a place that they will not be comfortable in. And so if they can win here, they push up into the middle of the pack in the top 7 instead of being right there on the cutting block, the chopping block, if you will. Animal House, on the other hand, if they can win this, they very well could bump up. They could scrape up into that top 7 from rank 10. So a lot for both of these teams on the line as we get into this later end of the season, and it's a great game to catch here because we're going to see 2 teams playing this very competitively. We're going to see both squads locked in, and I anticipate to see some very good coordination come through. Really a lot of fast action there as a couple of kills came through on the edges through the smoke. An attempted play from Animal House clearly, but they didn't get the coverage they were looking for, and so they lost a few on their entryway, and we'll see what kind of defense they throw up and if Ember are going to be able to stack a couple of points on the board here.
Nolo, where are you sitting? Go right.
I'm gonna go east.
Smoke.
Yeah, big time. No smokes at all?
Hey, I'm actually gonna sit right here, and if I hear any voices
fire
coming
myself.
from behind us guys in your tunnel, I'll play my radio.
No smokes coming out for this cross. They're just going to roll the dice. Oftentimes a pre-fired lane, as you can see the rounds coming through. Nolamite does get across, takes one shot. Green Theft gets across. Wicked dives past the shots of Soju.
I swear I
And
just saw 4, maybe just 3.
yeah, Soju was right on how many he saw there. 4 come through. What a nade toss from Steven. Doesn't quite catch Soju out as he dips back inside, but the aggression coming in here from Ember. They've already made it into the diamond. Lipinski's going to have to be ready for this push as a team kill comes through. The over-aggression maybe not being properly read by the team. Steven catches one to a trade. No, Green actually able to find Hailfire. He's still alive there, and it's down to just 2 for Ember. Milkman and Soju, and this is not going to be an easy task here. Bit of a waiting game now. The initial aggressive push from Ember gets really shut down, and now they have to sort of recollect and think, what can we do with 2? Milkman says, what can I do? As he swings out here to the backside, looking for where those shots were taken. Soju's still tucked in, and not a team kill coming in. Soju nearly team kills, then gets information as Green Theft misses his shots. Green's holding a tight enough angle that he's not going to expose out to Soju, and Soju can't see him underneath because of the
One down behind us.
dead body. Lipinski catches out Milkman. I don't know how they got so close. I think maybe he was going for a knife or something. Gets the kill, and now Soju's alone in a 1v5. Animal House are very much answering back in kind here with a defensive round of their own. Not even dropping a single death here. Which the only one positive off of those kills from last round. We are down into that 1v4, and I don't think he's got much utility left on the belt, so it's really just going to come down to Soju challenging angles. And with how they have set up, Animal House have invested 4 into this cross. You have Green Theft all the way across, Nolamite tucked in, and then Wicked and Steven on objective. Lipinski the most forward extended, but even he's pretty tucked in, waiting for a late angle. It's a really solid defensive setup coming in from Animal House, and one that proved very difficult for Ember to get past. And I don't really see, I guess I do, maybe an avenue for Soju, but it's going to have to be kill after kill. You'll have to somehow get Green Theft. That would be challenge number 1. Green's holding angles underneath a doorway, too, so Soju's really going to have to read that. Again, we're just waiting for Soju. All the time in the world. I don't know what his plan is, though. He's really assessed the middle areas. He's out of utility. A 1v5. Certainly can't happen on cargo, but I don't even know if he's aware of how much time he has left. Thanks for those shots, and he's going to drop off of that angle because he's giving away that position. And so another rotation coming in now, and, you know, he finally does commit to a cross, and as he does, he gets tagged, so they know where Soju is. 45 seconds left. He has to continue to commit to this push. And Steven both here. Steven doesn't take shots there as Soju dips out. A lot of clearing here, and Lipinski's just going to stay patient. There it was last time. Doesn't even have to pop out as Steven finds the kills. Halo has sucks Soju down, and with everyone up left alive, they take the round a bit slower than it needed to be, but it's tied regardless, one apiece. Animal House playing that one super safe. I figure with all 5 left alive and an accurate kill count, they could extend out and look for those kills, but at the end of the day, they don't need to. They can force Soju to come to them and just be patient. It's exactly what they do, and all tied up 1-1. Certainly an indicator that this series should be a good one. We do shift objectives now every 2 rounds. We shift to a different OBJ and obviously shift sides again. And so now Ember on the defense, Animal House attacking. We'll see if we see another aggressive smoke application from Animal House to push up. What they tried to go with on their last offensive round. It didn't quite work out. With this objective, capping doesn't happen often because it is an easier one to defend, but certainly something that can be put on the table if Animal House push up aggressively enough and can overwhelm the Ember defense. But
Negative.
let's see what the result is. We pop into round 3. XIDing Quokka. Green challenging it there and dipping past Quokka. Quokka drops off as Green applies the pressure, and Quokka finds 2. Green and Hex both go down. Gets that full kill, and Lipinski checking his tablet off the suppressor fire, realizing the situation they're in. Animal House, just like that, are down 2, and Ember is freely rotating around hunting for more.
Still a guy in barrels. There's still a guy in barrels.
There's one by the black box on the left.
Oh, Nolamite misses shots and Quokka peeks out. That's my fault there. Quokka peeks out and finds some kills. One through the doorway and then dips right back off. Lipinski's worried about them getting flanked now, and it's really thrown a wrench in the Animal House push. Ember can continue to apply aggression like that if they so choose, and it might catch Lipinski on the rotation. Really trying to assess locations, trying to apply the smokes so that they can push forward. That's going to be A pretty decent one. Nice vision from Hailfire, but doesn't stop the bullets. Steven goes down. There's a little gap in coverage there. I think they'll actually IDs. And then Lipinski's up next. Quokka dumping rounds through the suppressive fire. Gets them the kills. Ember with 5 left alive. Take this round, and I think we are on track to continue trading this way as Ember go on the offensive now, and these Volk rounds coming in very strong from both teams, but real advantage gained just yet. We'll see what AH do on defense, if they get over aggressive or not, but Ember definitely shutting down the Animal House push there right out the gate. Just no chance to even get set up. 3 getting taken out early, and really nice job there. You know, as we get into the later half of this season, we have these moments where even down 2-5, these teams still very locked in. They're trying to scrape anything they can back, as they should in any moment, but I think the added pressure of these matchups really mattering now. You know, the whole accumulation of the regular season coming down to playing well. The pressure affects how these squads are playing, and I wonder if we're going to be seeing a bit of a slower battle here today, just because both of these teams are feeling that pressure. We have the full minute and a half getting utilized between every round so far. So these teams very much discussing thoroughly where everyone will be, making sure they know their positions and can defend accordingly. Hex does peek out here and spot Quokka initially blending in there to the background of the crates, but Switch has managed to take control of center very early.
There's one outside yellow room. I got him. I'm watching him.
Just waiting for Soju and Hailfire to come crashing down that side. But Ember just need to sync up. Soju with a super long rotation with Milkman already across. Hailfire just waiting in through the center.
Don't peek, guys.
Oh, that's a good smoke that gets tossed up towards Lipinski's position. Counter nade thrown. Milkman does not get caught. Hex is in a good space, but if he doesn't hear Switch and commit to this peek out, it's not going to do a whole lot. If he does stay in here, though, he catches Switch. That's going to be where it pays off. Switch
Okay, that's 3 left, guys.
tips back, and Animal House still have 5 to Ember's 3. These offenses cannot break through the defense, let alone find a single pick. The last few rounds, it's been defense just shutting down the push coming in, and Milkman fully flashed there, gets scooped up by Nolo into the center, and Soju finally gets Ember a kill on offense. Steven getting over aggressive goes down. The first one given up on defense in a long time. Soju now again the only one left alive into a 1v4. Everyone's staying very disciplined on these defenses, and I think that's one thing that I am really noticing is how tight they are playing on D. Neither one of these squads really overcommitting on defense, getting over aggressive. Steven, the only one that's extended out so far on D. Everyone else been very tucked in. You know, Lipinski, Nolamite, everyone just holding their angles that they've drawn out on the whiteboard before the series and aware of the time. They just need to hold, and Soju has to push forward into their angles eventually. Soju for now is just flirting this out the outskirts. It's what he did last round when he's in the 1v4, just desperate for any sort of pick, looking for any kind of rotation, just anything. But Animal House is not going to give it. They have not been rotating. They have not been peeking out from their positions. It's truly how will Soju push into this objective. And without any utility, I think the answer is he won't. And eventually the clock is going to force the push. Eventually Soju will have to push into a line of sight. For now, he's going to continue to sort of dance around and just look for any pick he can find. But he's just not going to get anything. Animal House are not rotating. They're staying disciplined. They have no need to. They have 4 left alive. It's really just down to Soju challenging positions and pops out, takes some bullets, drops all the way back. Not sure what he's going to be doing here with 30 seconds left, but maybe he realizes that, oh, he doesn't have time to continue to slow play, and 1v4 with 15 seconds. Finally dies. As predicted, an easy kill for Animal House. The 1v4 obviously coming through there, and all tied up 2-2. Just trading Volk rounds here, and both teams doing their best to get a Marsoc dub, but it is just not going to go that way in this series. This is how this is going to continue to shake out. These pushes, I don't know, they're just not really looking good from either side. I'm not really seeing great utility placement. Not a lot of flashbangs or nades coming through, getting any kills or downs. It really just kind of seems like Animal House is flinging themselves at Ember with their guns in hopes that they can win these trades. And the same goes for Animal House on offense. Both of these squads not really seemingly doing a whole lot with their utility packages to try and disrupt these defenses. I think we will see that change with this objective. I think we'll see some smoke supplied and some flashes and whatnot, but so far a bit of a, I don't know, a very standard back and forth.
Go down and get a reposition for it, just like I mean up.
And we go tied up 2 apiece. Ember on D. We'll see how Animal House decide to push up, and it looks like we're going to be going for a heavy smoke application.
We need more smokes.
Pretty decent smoke tosses too. A couple of those going a bit too far. Not exactly denying the vision there. That's a good smoke there. The green one lands and perfectly covers the entry up through the center. And so a lot of room to work with for Animal House if they so choose. The other smokes not necessarily denying the vision, so green's going to get identified on that cross. You can see Switch now dialed into the doorway to make sure nobody comes out here. Switch actually getting aggressive as he pushes up just to catch out that kill. One goes down, Coco finds another. Actually, two for him. Nolamite can't hit those shots in the darkness of the coverage there. Really hard to ID his target.
One in the red container by center.
Finally, the trade comes through, but not before a kill, and actually going to be able to get res. Is Steven going to get that res? I think he should be able to rotate around free and easy. Nolamite's going to supply this aggressive fire, and not sure what that sound was. A crunch of an apple or something. Quick snack before they go on the push, and that's the 3v5. Another solid hold on the defensive end from Ember. Quokka scooping up Nolamite, trying to cross into the tunnel. Quokka actually might apply some pressure here to get rid of the rest of this Animal House offense. And look at how much they've had to, I mean, they've gone all the way back to their spawn. This rollout just completely getting denied. And now we go again into that slow holding pattern of now one player, F. Lipinski, up against 5 from Ember, and he's definitely playing this one passively, waiting to see if anyone's going to challenge him. Be doing all of the checking through all the tight gaps, trying to listen for comms, playing it quiet, looking down that middle lane for any sort of rotation, but nothing comes through. And the big task is going to be to challenge out this doorway. Quokka is checking it periodically, but if Lipinski can wait for Quokka to swing, should be at least a kill there. He's made it past Quokka's vision, so it's going to come down to him and Quokka, and then Hailfire, but Quokka is going to peek out. They're both going to trade, and Ember with 4 left take that round, and we continue to trade Volk rounds 1 apiece. The lead goes into Ember's hands, but for how long? I imagine not very. Animal House certainly capable of putting up an equally as impressive defensive round, and so it's gonna kind of a wait and see scenario for one of these Marsoc offenses to come together and work. The smokes there were really well applied right up through the center. If they had committed to that center push, there really was a significant amount of potential for a serious chaos around the objective. But you know, with how the meta has evolved over the course of the season, there's thousands of, there's hundreds of spots you need to check when you push now, because everyone is taking different positions. Everyone's going into off meta, different corners, different spots, and it slows down the pace of a team that maybe would want to commit to a bit more of an aggressive rollout if that team is worried about those positions. And you know, clearly attacking on cargo, a challenge for both of these squads here today, but it really has come down to just disciplined defense that's paid off. Back in we go. And number 6 kicking off.
Is anybody crossing? Did we bring smoke?
No, I don't have any.
I'm gonna try and go for an awesome C4 throw here.
Vinsky Pinsky tosses a C4, gets it pretty well up there. Smoke gets tossed out onto objective. That is relocated very nicely up towards the offensive push. Hex gets caught out. C4 detonated a bit too early, doesn't get anybody. And now Quokka is crashing in. Flashes have come through. Lipinski holding the tight angle, but Quokka's here. Finds one, can't get the double. The chaos unfolds. A switch comes flying in, and team kills from Lipinski. The pad comes out from Switch, and finally a Marsoc round coming through. Ember commit to the aggression, crash into objective, force the chaos, and what could have been a similar looking round for Animal House is exactly what Ember execute on with their plan and their smokes. Nicely done from that squad to take that round and the lead. 10-0 from Quokka. He definitely stepped up there in that last round of that map, but cargo into the hands of Ember. Maybe not necessarily a surprise to anybody, as they are the higher ranked squad, but still a closer series than I think I was anticipating. Well, not really. A very good back and forth, disciplined defenses getting dubs, and I think we are headed to... I'm not sure yet, but it could be USS Quest for map 2. Just waiting for the Ember squad to pick their map now. The Animal House being home had the first ban and first map choice. And yep, it is going to indeed be a USS Quest for map number 2. And this is exciting. This is one of my favorite maps to be tuning into nowadays. Rarely gets played because it's often banned. Does get kept in the map pool, and yeah, I don't know. Just not a lot of teams picking into it. Maybe out of a fear of the unknown, or I'm not sure. But I think maybe the fear of the known at this point. This map has been played heavily over the course of this season, and teams have really started to develop strategies that are super effective at surprising and overwhelming. And so interesting that Ember have picked this as their map choice, but I think they're trying to throw Animal House off with a bit of a wild card pick. And yeah, I think Quest is certainly a decent choice. This should turn out to be pretty dang interesting. Deal with me here as we sort the lobby out and get into the action. I'm looking at Animal House's roster. They have that. Yeah, they have that roster to dip into. They want to bring in subs for this map. They certainly can. We're waiting for 2 to connect, and it could be just waiting for them to download the version of the map to play it on, but be that, or could be bringing in 2 subs to the side of Animal House, trying to do something to switch up the roster and bring some momentum onto their side, especially now that they go into Ember's map pick. They've lost their map choice. I mean, a series that is not going well for AH right now, that is to say the least, but not out of the woods just yet. Ember still able to keep playing. And yeah, we are seeing some subs. Nolamite now coming in. I think it was Steven and someone else that they had. We'll wait and see who their 5th is for this one, but love to see specialists getting brought in for a map like this, and it's maybe gonna put a little bit of concern into Ember's mind. Look at I want to take a look at the stats. USS Quest, a 33% win rate for Animal House. So really, I think just a pick from Ember into a weakness, but anything can be practiced, and that, Onward comes down to having good days and bad days, and I don't think Animal House are incapable of putting up a win here on Quest, so I expect another good bit of back and forth at the very least on this map. Okay, I think everything's been sorted. Have all players in lobby now, and so hopefully the action will begin. Thank you for patiently waiting for map number 2 to kick off. I do apologize, it is just myself, but already cast one game today, and so just trying to keep the voice alive for the series, because this is going to be a good one. Might be having some Echo Arena folk trickle in as well. They have their master tier qualifiers going on right now. Could see some new faces come through as well. In which case, I want to be sure to deliver that hype action for what could be Map 3 Series Decider. We're not there yet. Again, just waiting for both squads to ready up now, as they do have all of their active rosters in, and should be getting underway in no time. Into the action we go. Map number 2 kicking off on USS Quest. Animal House defending, Ember on offense, and we'll see with this kind of fast corner OBJ if Ember are going to send one out onto the edge. And already pre-fire coming through downrange just to present the dive out onto the corner as Lipinski gets himself into a bit more of a forward position, a dangerous position that he could pop up from and get some serious kills. Boca goes past him. Down he goes. Hex finds one on the other side. Nade comes out, and Lipinski's going to continue to apply pressure. Soju doesn't know that he is being threatened by the likes of Lipinski right now. But Lipinski doesn't want to commit to pushing out because he's worried about Milkman. Milkman able to push out wide. Nolo couldn't get the angle he was looking for. Hailfire going to come crashing in. The trade there between him and Steven. And Green's actually going to swing around to get that res. Nolo dives just a bit too far from objective. Ducks back in and goes down. The res comes through, and we're into a 2v2. Quest coming out the gates hot.
We lost someone on catwalk.
And they are crashing back to defend.
Just stay alive.
Milkman gonna try and cross out Stevens there. The trade and couldn't get the res. Green Theft. Last one left alive, and Animal House come out with a early lead. A solid Volk hold. Oh, not terribly solid, but a good hold nonetheless. One left alive gets them the round. And the lead now on Ember's map pick. Maybe they're going to try and reverse what just happened to them on their map choice. We'll see. But I imagine Animal House feeling pretty good here and are going to come out aggressive on Marsoc next round because they've got that defensive win. I would anticipate a heavy smoke application and maybe even a cap attempt. They're going to want to try and overwhelm Ember on this map. They almost did it on the last one. It didn't quite follow through with their well-placed smokes. Let's see if they do it here on this round. Or not. Again, minute and a half timer between rounds, and these teams taking that time to utilize it to strategize. We're at the end of the season, and this is when these matches matter the most. Everything comes down these final weeks, the whole 15 weeks time invested into playing and climbing that ladder. Take it a little bit serious at this point for sure, so into the action we go. Interesting to hear that AP rounds are being taken. I didn't know that was anything anybody did. Push coming in now from AH, round 2. Quokka gonna be here ready to fight. Hex gets his head shot and instantly dies. Quokka gonna maintain this position, but it is exactly the safest one. He finds another kill by committing and challenging out to that edge. A great pickup from Quokka again, and Ember shutting down Animal House this time on offense. Back to the other side of the map, or other side of the map, I suppose. Down red lane, the Pinsky making his move. Staying crouched and quiet. Not so much anymore.
Red. One red. Trade.
Green continuing to push, dives back, tucks in, finds Soju. Switch looking for the refragging. Green trying to heal. Switch peeks out there. Switch able to get that kill. Quokka was going for the long flank. Animal House shut down Ember on their defensive round, and boy, doesn't this seem familiar. Trading defensive rounds back and forth for another close quarters battle. Get the scores right. shift to a bit of a deeper objective here. Towards the back of the aircraft carrier, and got to be careful about the edges here. Oftentimes teams neglect to properly defend the edge with this objective, and Ember can use this ledge here to push right up and challenge. And it seems like that's where a good and majority of their investment's going. At least some of it. Edge piece out there. Lipinski and Quokka not expecting each other to be there just yet. Nolamite holding a tight angle. That's a good nade. A great nade! What a toss. Steven with a huge nade up over the edge. Catches one. Green's trying to defend the center push. Hailfire swings the tight corner. Catches Green out. There's a good refrag from Wicked. Ember dropping fast and furious, as is Wicked. We're into a 3v2 with a res available. And Milkman and Soju trying to reassess what they should be doing now here with 5 minutes left. Soju thrown off there for a second. Seems like he was checking the footsteps of an enemy. It's just Milkman behind him. Might actually swinging around for a long rotation, and this is the ledge risk that I was talking about. And then Nolamite very much aware. I think that defensive position taken to properly defend this. Yeah, he hears the footsteps. He commits to the swing, gets the kill, and then classic Onward fashion.
Down another one.
Does a little bit of teleporting. It's an in-game mechanic, everybody. Soju applying pressure here. Maybe challenging Steven in just a few seconds. Steven hears those footsteps on the opposite side of the crate. No utility left for Soju. And wow, Steven getting shut down on that commitment. Nolamite dives out and allows Soju to creep past for just a moment. 3 minutes left. Soju has all the time to work with here. It's not exactly a big amount of coverage either. Soju could sprint past this coverage. And Nolamite maybe not feeling so great about that spot. Relocates to get better eyes on objective, which is, I think, the right choice. And I wonder what Soju's plan is here, because he is relying on audio cues very clearly, just listening in to see if anybody's rotating, holding one or two angles just to be sure. Now he's going to finally commit out, and Nolamite on that rotation catches out the kill. A good rotation at that, but gets them what they need. And yeah, he just didn't have any idea of where Nolo could have been after he got that last kill, so... Wrong scoreline. A good attempt, but Animal House are on top 2-1. Again, just trading those Volk rounds back and forth seems to be the trick for now. Anything can happen. Animal House could potentially get the right picks to pursue for a cap opportunity, so I don't know about on this objective. Out of all objectives, I feel like this would be a tough one to get a cap on, but got the KDs here. Quoco with 4, Nolo with 4. Everyone else at least on the board, but definitely not like the cargo map, which I think is interesting considering the similarities. Just the difference in outcome here. A lot more trades, a lot more back and forth. I don't know if this map tends to cater itself to the comeback or what, but it has been certainly a lot closer on those Volk rounds, so let's see what we get as we pop into the action for our next round.
Yeah, you did.
You did what you had to do.
And it was a 2v3
Plus, you had
at one
another
point
one
as
before that, so like, you did it. You done it.
Because they're gonna know you're
Up,
doing
I'm
your same
expecting
shit.
at least 2 of them to
Yeah,
push
I
Red
know.
Alley.
I expect them to know that.
They've got nades from Red Alley.
Get this heavy forward rollout coming in. Switch and Floka getting full center control. And I think that's just fine for the Animal House rollout so far, at least. It's a heavy red side push. I think I've seen a black smoke. Big swing here coming in from Ember, Quokka, and Switch. Both committing to a huge flank, and it gets one. Quokka does get traded out, and Switch is going to get the res, and now they're going to continue to apply pressure, and Hex has to suddenly defend red lane from being attacked from the back. Quokka finds another. They are applying heavy pressure. Ember getting aggressive here. Soju finds one. Steven suddenly getting pinched from both ends.
Yeah, I said
Everyone flanked like that.
I told you they were all Red Alley.
Everybody
You know,
abandoned.
everyone
It doesn't
was. I
matter.
wouldn't get Quokka.
All 5 alive, everyone on objective, and even still disappointed in the way it was done because of the potential for a cap there. It doesn't come through, and wow, another great defensive round to say the least. Ember just completely demolishing Animal House on offense there. This works for Animal House in the long run. If we continue to trade Volk rounds, eventually Animal House will take the series, well, the map 4-3, and that's all they need. They just need to take this map to push it to a map 3 series decider, which is what we're always looking for here at the desk. Next objective, a pretty crazy one. You know, this one very fast, considering its positioning on the map and where you spawn. It's almost a competition to get to the objective at the same who can get there first. Get back into the action. You can see not that far away, maybe about double, well, I suppose double the distance. But Ember are going to be able to really challenge early here. And Animal House still have to, they aren't right away on objective. They have to properly push up to defend it. Early smokes coming in. Quokka able to push up right away to the corner. Nolo's going to huck a nade around. It's a flash, and Quokka doesn't dodge that. Nolo might be able to swing around and catch him. Lipinski catches out Hailfire. The push going in from the other side, though, and the trade leaves Soju and Milkman as the final two on offense. Hailfire getting confirmed there, and after a little success up the middle, he switches to red lane, catches Steven unaware.
And they just
C4 detonated, utility gone, and it's a 2v3.
Catwalk dead. I'm moving up.
Green
I see
and
one
Wicked
dead body,
both
so
crashing
possibly
back
two now.
towards objective. Nolamite getting aggressive on defense, finds the kill. No waiting around here on cargo. Animal House lock in another Volk round. Bump up their lead here on Ember's map pick, 3-2. A round away from taking this to a map 3 decider.
This is such a fucking
Fuck the
capital
code.
objective.
Hey,
We just put
fuck
one
the
of
code.
smoke objective.
We are on game. We are on map point here. We don't need a cap. We need 5 kills.
smoking
Let's not
objective.
quarantine this up.
Let's go green.
Let's do this. I'm gonna put a smoke.
All out's coming in, and they're right. This objective is capable. Quokka committing to a heavy
Watch out, Nate's close by.
push up there. Steven IDing that initial cross. Be a bit overcautious as Quokka has paused his push. Meanwhile, rest of Animal House working their way up the red lane. Soju tucked in and waiting, and utility getting chucked out as they push. So I don't think there's going to be very many flashes to throw him off here. Hail goes down, and is that going to give them false confidence pushing up here? Soju also getting downed, his elbow popping up around the corner, and now this offense has to switch and rotate, and as they do, they get exposed. 1, 2, switch, Milkman dead, and now Quokka in his advanced position has to crash back and worry about getting hit from the other side, completely being flanked. Animal House on pace to lock in this map and take us to a map 3 series decider, the reversal of the scoreline. Quokka has his back exposed, he goes down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're in this shit. 1 map to 1.
4-2 on USS Quest. Animal House surprising here with a grab out of the claws of Ember. Momentum, everything into Ember's favor after taking that cargo series. But now I don't know what to expect. AH get map choice. We got Quarantine and Subway banned. So something like Suburbia or Downfall maybe? I don't really know if the range is where we'll be headed, but have to wait and see where AH decide to go. I wonder if they're doing a little research right now to see where they should be headed. They want to pick into a weakness. Like that, freaky. Ember statistics over at VRML.com. Lowest win percentage rate is on Downfall. Animal House, I don't think are bad on it. Check their stats here in a sec. So the Downfall is certainly an option, but the close quarters has been a theme for today so far, and it's going to continue to be a theme. Suburbia is where we're headed for map number 3, and I said this would be a quick series and that these teams play it fast, and 2 maps done in about an hour's time. Definitely moving quick. I mean, you know, despite the minute and a half between rounds and some of these rounds coming down to the last 30 seconds, the other rounds that they have been playing have been done within the first 2 minutes in some cases, and so just a super quick back and forth coming through here today, as you would expect with 2 super competitive teams. Super fast teams, usually. Also competitive, I suppose. We got rosters. I'm not seeing. Actually, we are seeing subs. No, we're not. Steven was in last round, I believe. just waiting for both squads to ready up to dive into the action. You got to remember that they are playing a lot of Onward here. This is a competitive VR esports, so the players do need breaks between rounds as well, but they practice and train a lot. They play enough Onward where this is playing 3 maps in a row is not out of the ordinary. I'm sure they'll all take a bit of a pause and maybe go back and rewatch the VOD, in which case hello. But a fun series to be watching so far, obviously, as we are diving into the Map 3 series decider, another close quarters map. We'll see how Animal House attack
Expect them to push up.
as they go on the offense.
Expect 2 flankers.
Oh, and a good read from Animal House, expecting them to push. Nolo seemed ready for it on the corner, but Quokka pops out and Nolo goes down, and Quokka is now in a very powerful position, has eyes onto several pushers. Lipinski dies. Quokka is going to now extend out and look for more. Breathes at risk. He goes down. That's 3. There's 4. Can he find the 5th behind him? Quokka's looking for the ace.
Echo. Just don't die.
Finally, Hex catches out the aggression, but a little bit too late, and I guess that's the energy Soju needed to channel on Cargo. The 1v4 right there. Really doing a good job of denying Animal House any entry through the center, and they were ready for it, so just a great job all around. Ember now in a comfortable defensive position, are just going to hold and wait for Wicked Hex to try and work through this 1v4.
Apparently, Quokka killed 4.
Actually, I don't even know if they had an accurate kill count. Quokka didn't seem to be radioing in what he had. They were surprised after that kill that they had the round. Ember kicking off this Animal House map pick with a very solid defensive hold. And Quokka 4 and 1. A huge round for him, and again, a great way to shift the momentum off of Animal House's hands. We are waiting for a 5th to join for Animal House, so maybe a pause here, hopefully for not too long, hopefully not long enough to warrant a break. I haven't got any info on an official timeout being called yet. Quick shout out to everyone tuning in here today on all of the channels. I do appreciate you. If you are maybe here for looking for some Echo Arena, that's over on Echo Arena _ VRML on Twitch for now. It will be back on venues when season starts tomorrow, so expect to see Echo Arena matches back here on venues on the weekends. Alongside Onward, it should be a lot of VRML on venues, at least for the next few weekends, because we are going to get into that postseason for Onward and the beginning of the season for Echo. So a lot of hype around VR esports on both ends, for sure. I'm super excited for Season 4 and obviously for Season 11 of Onward to be wrapped up and that postseason to be underway. I cannot wait to see what we get there. Don't know word on if we're into an official timeout, but I think I may have to cut us to a intermission scene while we wait for this fifth to join up. And nope, about enough time. Nolamite has reconnected. No timeout necessary. We should be into the action for round number 2 soon. Not enough time. I waited long enough. Get the engines running, the train chugging. Map number 3 of the series decider. Round 2 kicking off here. The action has been quite exciting to tune into so far, but it's been a heavy defensive series. It really just comes down to when one of these teams can finally break out a Marasok round, and if they can do that. For now, we're kind of stuck into this Volk trade. Hex just dives past Quokka and Switch. Quokka and Switch are through, and they actually team kill the res there. Lipinski still hasn't done anything. They make it up top. I'm not sure what is going on.
2 dead.
This is crazy. Wicked Hex and Theft are fighting behind the two here. They were pushing up to objective. Quokka was. Switch able to catch Lipinski through the door. And Animal House are really going aggressive on defense here. I don't know about over-aggressive as Dolomite goes down and there is only one left.
He's middle house upstairs.
Clearing out the floor here. Second floor cleared, and with only one place left that he could be. See if Green Theft and Hex commit to it. Does swing around and finds the kill.
Flashes to the middle.
Animal House tie it up, one apiece. A crazy aggressive swing. Two just dipped past up through the middle. Such an awkward crossing there that they didn't see each other, and then just a weird battle that we found ourselves in, waiting for Middle House to do something while the rest of the defense ran around and killed their teammates behind them. Tied up one apiece, though. And we switch sides to the corner OBJ, a familiar one at that, not the new one.
Wish me luck, boy. I'm going on a trip. Oh, thank you, Milk. I love you.
See how Ember roll out their defense here. Gonna be a heavy commitment out the gate. Quokka's gonna challenge early, and he's gonna get past the smoke layer. Gonna continue to dive in here, and you can kind of see this offense. Definitely not wary of the potential threat. Quokka has to play this quietly. He can find a couple of kills, and as he takes shots, he misses on the green. Lipinski finds the kill there. Up through the middle, tons of shots ringing through. Ember getting pulled down to just 2 on defense. And Smokes on objective. The res coming through for Animal House puts them back to 4. I wonder if they're going to be going for a cap, but this could be the all pursuit after Marsoc round that they need to get to start getting things into their favor. What a great rollout from them. It could have gone a lot worse as they had that flank in position, but doesn't pay off for Ember, and all 4 now taking it up on objective side. Ooh, Milkman's gonna C4 it up. Great toss, catches Hex out. As he commits, ooh, wow, that was risky. Almost overcommitted for the kill, confirm. Lipinski had vision there on that side. This is gonna dip back around and running into potentially Steven as well, but
He's dead, he's dead.
there's the kill. There's the res.
Throw that smoke.
Here comes the cap attempt. Soju never comes down from the heavens as he gets blasted up into the atmosphere. Animal House with 3 left alive, I think, take that Marsoc round and really just kind of out-aggressed Ember. Ember tried to throw something different on defense there at them. They tried to throw a bit, obviously, a more aggressive style. And if it had worked, there would have been several kills into the hands of the flanker and the one that was pushing up through the middle, but instead, both of them die. It puts it quickly into a 3v4. Then they lose another up through the middle, and it's a 2v4. And Animal House can just do a good job of following through with that Marsoc attack. The C4 was nice, didn't get the full kill, and well, now Ember has to bounce back in kind and find this next Marsoc round to keep it tied. Animal House really looking to pile up their lead here. If they can take this defensive round like they have so many others throughout the course of this series, they can push themselves up into a nice, comfortable 3-1. And ignore that, my math, not good enough. It's round 4. Are seeing some similar aggression, but quite as heavy. Lipinski nearly goes down, placing his C4. Good flash up and over. Pauses switch for a couple of seconds. And obviously a bit of a different defensive style here from Animal House. They're not pushing up into that middle lane. Not trying to get aggressive. Playing this one very passive and meta, really. Lipinski in Green's positions, not out of the ordinary.
One cross, he's a Humvee, lane 1, I got him down.
Super confident. Was able to get that refrag. The dive out from Green Theft. The C4 detonates and actually team kills Green. Luckily, he's able to be res. Tailfire can't swing and act off of that soon enough. Into a 3v3. Milkman makes his way through the shots through the wood onto Nolo. 3v2. Animal House on track to give up this round themselves. Yeah, just a bit of a hush as we wait for Ember to do whatever they are going to do. Soju and Milkman just kind of waiting, it seems. The aggression of the early rounds maybe shocking them into being a little bit more passive, anticipating more of that to come through, but not at this stage. Doesn't look like there's any smokes there for Hale to use. We come down to having the appropriate suppressive fire, and I imagine they're on the hunt for kills at this point, because it's not going to be easy to get over there for the cap.
Bring 1 torch down. At least Bravo 2.
We'll see if Lipinski's patient position will be enough. After taking those shots, Hale's going to be aware that there's another here. As he dives out, Hale had pushed up to the tight corner, catches it out. Ember take their Marsoc round. We trade continuously here, 2-2 for our final map. A very, very close series so far, and again, at this point, I'm not even gonna say fast. They've had these long rounds on these close quarters maps. Very quick action, sometimes quick rounds, but often enough, these teams then readjusting after slamming into each other for a few deaths. It's been interesting to see them try and recollect and then push, and I don't know if it will continue to be the trend, but we do shift not too far from that last objective to a new one. If Ember want to get aggressive on defense, this is certainly one where they can. There are some very early firefights you can run into with how the spawns work. Typically the map works north to south, but with this objective, it actually puts spawns east to west. And so it changes how you approach the map itself. Which is one of the things I do like about both of the new spawns. for objectives.
Yep.
Next round, alright. Finish it up.
No getting capped on, boys. That's the. Oh, they can pre-fire through this bush here, so watch out whenever you push this way. Watch I say that, and then I'm the one that dies to it.
I'm gonna push forward towards lane 3.
Man, this is a interesting spawn for Animal House. Ember is going to commit to this aggression. Lipinski is playing it passive. I think Quokka sees that utility coming out from the corner. A great advanced position. Lipinski does well to find that trade at the very least. Milkman sees Hailfire there. Switch comes charging in through the center. He's looking for multiple kills, but only finds one. Could have been bad news for the likes of Nolo and Steven, but get those kills. And Ember cut down to just 2, Soju and Milkman. Quokka is resable and can communicate, but that won't be for long as Green's on the rotation.
One more dead, lane 1.
Push an objective on lane 1.
Yeah, those comms there would have been helpful just a touch earlier. Animal House, another Marsoc round in their hands as Nolamite finds the final kill. Green Theft 10 and 2 right now. Quokka trying to match, but 7 and 7, not exactly the same KD spread. Jeez, Green Theft really stepping up here to try and get Animal House this series. Again, this is a huge series for both of these teams. Ember has been climbing that ladder the last few weeks of this season, getting a couple of huge wins to put them where they are in rank 7. They cannot afford this loss. If they do, it's going to push them out of that top 7 position. It's going to probably put Animal House in, and you only got a week left. There's only one more set of games to play, unless you can secure a challenge match. And man, the risk of a challenge match is high if you're in the top 7. I doubt anybody takes it unless, you know, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be the last week. Next week is just going to be wild to see what teams are trying to do to get to that position they need to in the ladder. Either way, both these teams want this series. And as we switch objectives again... Oh no, we stay on the same objective and switch sides, and Ember now have to attack this corner. And I don't know, I feel like this objective almost is a Marsoc favored objective, so I'm not going to count Ember out of this series just yet. I think they can certainly take a Marsoc round here. It's going to come down to mentality and staying focused. And also how Animal House decide to roll out on defense.
I should kill you for making that joke. Just knee tap you. Right in the ankles.
Fucking more master here, dude. Come on.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Has Animal House realized that they're only 4 strong? They haven't. They've spawned into the series, into this map, and they cannot reset, so they are down 1, essentially now into a... Maybe I was wrong. I don't know what happened. No, they're down 1. They are down 1. The kill feed inaccurate. Essentially into a 4v3 now. Fire finds Lipinski. Nolamite and Hex both pushed up aggressively. Is it going to be in the right spots? Hex certainly is going to be a good threat there. Quokka goes down. Soju gets Nolo. Hex is going to swing around, and Soju, I think, sees that rotation. Either way, it leaves Ember with 3 and Animal House with just 2. Another one down. Green. Not sure if he realizes he's the last one alive, but is. And wisely takes up a defensive position on objective. Finds Hailfire. That's a big pick. Tucks back in. Milkman nearly goes down. Soju's there, but can't find the line. Green almost takes this one for Animal House. Oh, and I left up the scene for too long. Sorry. Almost the final round. Maybe not. We'll see. We're into the 1v2. If you're on venues, you saw it clear as day. There's the kill. I didn't miss much. Sorry for that. But we get the last kill. Soju and Green trade. We'll just stay here for an examination of the kill feed in preparation for the final round. Green Theft 12 and 3. Really putting one on the shoulders for his team here. I mean, Hex and Nolamite doing well. Steven with the disconnect in that last round. Certainly could have been better for Animal House if they had had that additional defender, but they didn't check tablets and went into a 4v5. Incredibly unfortunate for them, but this is it. The map decider comes down to this. We've traded map 1 4-2. Ember taking that 4-2 for Animal House in map 2 on USS Quest. And now here we are on Suburbia, and Animal House and Ember are tied up 3 apiece. We've traded Marsoc rounds. We've traded Volk rounds. It all comes down now to how Ember defend. And this is the most pressure-filled round here that these teams have played all season. A lot on the line.
Here we go.
Hey, I'm free firing here. Free firing here. Watch your.
Hey, make it count. Make it count.
Don't get shot by me.
All right, I got you. You're gonna make it.
Cap. If you see somebody on our team capping, shoot him.
Yep.
Smoke wall, lane 1.
And you can tell the philosophy for Animal House is going for the kill. Not going to be focused on the cap. And with this objective, that makes sense. It's certainly a hard one to cap. I don't blame them for going for it. Or not going for it, excuse me. Smoke's getting dished out here. Come down to placement and if they're where they want to be. It is a pretty decent smoke wall. Problem is, the switch still has coverage just over the hedges. Finds 2 as they try and push out an Animal House.
Spawn by the brown fence, lane 3 across the street.
Oh, just getting denied. Oh no, Quokka comes up on the swing. Catches Steven out. Green Theft trying to get the frags on the switch as he dives out into the smoke. Switch doesn't see the cross, and Green is able to live another day, and down he goes. As I say that, the smokes dissipate. Lipinski catches out the flanker, but he is the lone survivor of Animal House. The 1v4. And Ember, for now at least, have saved their efforts so far in the later half of this season. I know they've been working hard to get up into the top 7 and then hold it, and that is the toughest part. Animal House nearly taking this one, but Unless Lipinski can knock out 4 Ember defenders with 4 minutes left, this is going to be a round into the hands of Ember and the series. So, you want to talk about pressure? Lipinski's certainly feeling it now. Two minutes left on the clock. And the route that he's got to take entitles pre-fire through the wood wall to catch hailfire. That's really step one. And it is a common position, so it's not out of the question to just dump some rounds into the corner of that wood before you make the cross. You can do that now and then rotate back to the swing side, take a little gander there. From there, I don't know what the plan is. I think Switch has to go down if he wants to cross this street, but it's a hard kill to get through the shrubs if he takes this angle. Maybe Soju gets picked, but I don't think Soju's over-rotating. He's actually sitting back on that backside. And I think Ember had a disconnect, so there's actually only 3 left on defense. There's no flanker coming through or anything, so that's it. If he gets Hale, Soju, and Switch, Lipinski can lock this in for his team. Interestingly enough, Switch not looking up over the hedge like he was at the start of the round, so Lipinski's going to be able to crawl across. 30 seconds left, though, and from here, what's the plan? Again, got to get rid of Hailfire, and then to make this cross, he has to get Switch. He's going to go in between 2. There's the kill from Hale. Ember cling on to their rating and really solidify themselves up in to the top 7 worldwide. They are now comfortably up there. They were 7th before this, but now after this win, it'll certainly boost them up in a way that they needed. So a huge dub for them and a fun series to tune into. A very close one at that, and certainly could learn a thing or two by watching these top teams compete. I think it was 12-3 at the end of the day there from, who was it on Animal House, but just not enough. Ember pulling it together in the last few moments, and again, a fun one to tune into today. Shout out to everyone that has been tuning in. Really do appreciate everyone on Twitch, Venues, Facebook, or YouTube. If you drop by, please hit that follow button on any one of those platforms. We have content coming out regularly on all those channels, so Please be following along. Also, a reminder that here on twitch.tv/VR Master League, Echo Arena will be returning, as well as on venues. So next weekend, keep your eyes out for Echo Arena matches and their return with Season 4. That's going to be incredibly exciting to watch. So I highly recommend dropping in to that action. Also, obviously, the final week of regular season for Onward, where it's really going to be super fun to watch teams battle for the top 7 position. Postseason starts April 7th, so be sure to catch that and put that down on your calendar. And with that, I will be signing out. My name's been Nightfire with 2 E's. Thank you so much for dropping by. I'll see you all next week. Stay classy.